Sky Alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Garry Frank.
This dry air mass is keeping our relative humidity values around 10 to 15% even at this hour, and usually we see good recovery overnight because it's a little bit cooler and there's more moisture in the air, but 10, 11, 12, 19 in LA not lending itself to that extra moisture that we really kind of need in the air to allow it to recover and get that fire danger down. But we're seeing this all because of this vigorous high pressure center that's really starting to work its way inland now, and as it does so, we're seeing that dry north wind right down the Colorado River Valley, but some areas seeing the northeast wind, and that's what's really creating this very, very dry air from moving from area of a high pressure to area of lower pressure now that's kind of stationed off the ocean, and that's why we're seeing that air move that way, and that's why it's getting so warm. Now, red flag warning still in effect for areas if you're traveling further to the west. That's because of the fire danger still very, very high. That's what the red flag warning does, and we often see them here. But you see why they have them, because of all the fire danger that you're seeing in San Diego County, and you saw all the fires. That could very well be a possibility here when we do have red flag warnings. So keep that in mind. That's why we see it, because of the high fire danger. Right now, our temps are ups and downs between 73 and 81 throughout the area. So they're just changing quite a bit right now. 76, 77, and 80 in Sealy because of the fact that we're seeing variable humidities. Very, very dry in Blythe still at 5%, but we're seeing 22%, which is an okay recovery. So that's why it's a little bit cooler. 32-degree dew point, 24 in Yuma, and 4. And we'll start our day at 65. Lighter breezes can be expected tomorrow. We warm up quite a bit more. 101 as we finish by 4 p.m. 65. 5-mile-an-hour breeze, however, that's one of the reasons we don't have a red flag warning. The air is so very dry and it's hot. Those are two things that you like for fire danger, but we're not seeing the winds. That is great news. Last thing we want is something like that. Even in our desert climate, it's still very possible. From the west, 5 miles per hour, mostly now at north, the general north direction. If it shows up as 0, but it registers as like 0.5, but you still see it there. And generally, we'll see a north breeze once again tomorrow and overnight, and it's going to stay that way. It's going to start to flip a little bit throughout tomorrow, but really generally as this high pressure moves over us, our winds are going to be much, much lighter. You look outside and this is what you're seeing. The big bright full moon. I mean, how do you not love that? Looks so nice. We're going to continue to see this big bright full moon, and as you look towards the rest of the next several hours on SkyALERT Windcast, you see this high pressure moving inland. That's creating everything right over the top of it. Very, very chilly air. It moves away and we see warm air spiral up the coast. That's going to allow us to really, really warm up over the next several days. So you'll see it on the 7-day forecast. We go from 90s to 100s, back to 90s. 107 is where we peak on Friday and Saturday in Yuma and Imperial Valley. Back to you.